Unfortunate One. That's Creedence Clearwater Revival. Good one there from the 70s, I think. Want to say anyway. It should be right around there. Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there's doing fantabulous. Certainly am on this side. Outer world comes from our inner world, and this kind of is more from the angle of what can happen when we start to doubt and second guess and all these things. So there's a little bit of that mechanism behind it. I'm not trying to put any sort of extra strain on it. It's more an issue of let's try to understand why this is bad, why we get ourselves into these little ruts, why it's important for us to kind of stop it and turn it around. And, just kind of identifying that and moving forward, you'll find a lot more success, generally speaking, in law of attraction practices, but certainly in manifestation. When you can eliminate a lot of that noise, a lot of that mind chatter, a lot of those little handbrake things we do, you'll actually start to find, again, it's just the success rate goes through the roof. So we go to all these efforts. We do all this imaginal work, right? We try all these different techniques that are out there to try to create our relationships or whatever it is that we're trying to manifest, right? We've got vision boards. We've got manifestations. We've got affirmations that we're going to do. I don't know. We're going to imagine the scenes. We're going to live from there. We're going to, act as if. We're going to do all these different kinds of techniques, right? All this stuff. So we put all this effort forward because it creates this vibration. It creates this energy. It kind of gets the ball flowing. And then oftentimes we realize what we're doing is we're focusing on it, right? From an intellectual standpoint, we get that we're trying to create this scenario that's off in the distance that hasn't happened yet. We get that intuitively. But I think where a lot of us begin to stumble and start to trip and start to fall, and I think I can hopefully put a little light onto why. But what starts to happen is we first start this whole imaginal work, we start seeing a lot of really cool results. Like within usually 24 hours or whatever, within a reasonably short period of time, we start to see some really, really neat signs, coincidences, whatever you want to call it. And we start getting all this sort of activity that kind of suggests, oh my God, something's changed, something new's happened, something that's in line with what I've been thinking is suddenly occurring. And we get excited, and it helps motivate us. Problem, right there, strike one. Right there, strike one. And it's okay. We all do it. We all do it. But understand, right off the bat, what we've done, again, we've done all this imaginal work, and now all of a sudden the outer world is showing us a sign, a symbol, a synchronicity, a coincidence, whatever you want to call it. And then we get happy. An outer thing has been given to us. Suddenly now we feel happiness. During the imaginal work, we were feeling happiness as well, and that was why we were trying to create that sort of feeling within ourselves, correct? Right? We're doing that. We're creating it, making it as real as we possibly can, trying to use as many senses as we possibly can. And we do that because it makes it real. It makes it what we want it to be. And by making it as real as possible, that is what creates the feeling, and the feeling is what attracts. So what happens is we start to focus on the signs, the symbols, the things. We get lost of the actual manifestation. We lose sight of what it is that we're trying to actually create down the road, and we start to focus on the here and now and whether or not that indicates what we expect. So a lot of us, we're trying to manifest X, Y, or Z. We're trying to manifest our relationship back with our specific person, or we're trying to manifest a specific person. We're trying to manifest a car, a job, a house, a wife, or whatever. And it is such of importance to us that we create this. And it's so constantly on our mind that we notice when we don't have it. And those are where the doubts start to creep in. Right? So you've already gotten the signs because you're doing the work. Now all of a sudden we're starting to go, well, other things aren't happening. I'm expecting her to maybe reach out to me. I'm doing all this imaginal work, and I've been trying to imagine her texting me. Why hasn't she texted me yet? And when we start to do that, we start to notice how she hasn't texted me yet, how this hasn't happened currently right now. And we start to think about, and we start to imagine, and we start to have little discussions within ourselves of how we do not have what we desire. So immediately at that point, we're now telling the universe, whoa, hang on. No, I'm not trying to manifest her anymore. I'm now interested in manifesting a world where I don't have this, and I can be bummed about it. Truly, it is what you're doing because you're focusing on the lack. And by focusing on the lack, you create more of that lack. And it creates more of that lack kind of feeling within you, that things aren't going well, kind of bummer sort of feeling. And now you're starting to notice things in reality that are even worse because that's what you're creating. And it spirals itself. As we focus on what we don't have, we get more of what we don't have. And then we focus more on what we don't have, and we continue to focus more on what we don't have. The way to turn that is to focus on what we do have, or at least focus on what you do have, or focus on what you're trying to create. Focus on what you are creating. Not even trying. Focus on what you are creating. Focus outward and onward. There should be a feeling that comes from in yourself about whether I'm happy that I woke up today, whether I'm happy that I'm going down this path that I'm going, whether I'm happy at work, excuse me, whether I'm happy at home, whether I'm happy in my relationships, whether I'm happy in anything. This should all come from within ourselves. When you put it outside of yourself, the second you do that, you spiral down slowly at first. The second we focus on right now as anything other than right now and trying to ascribe it meaning, we can get ourselves into into a lot of pain. A lot of people with success stories have shared the common basic practices of law of attraction. Do kind of good things, what you think, what you say, what you do. Try to create a good vibration, and you will get what you want. Is it 100? Yeah, we'll leave that out. You do these practices. They're tried and true. They've been proven by numerous people. Maybe in some people, slightly smaller scale. Some people so large a scale, it's ridiculous. And then everything in between. But there's a commonality in it. And it is not focusing on what you do not have. So the reason we get out of sync on ourselves is when we start allowing outside things to create more of a happiness in us than it should. And signs count as that, mind you. Because again, now you're looking at this outside thing and you're like, goody. Yes, it's a good indication that you're on your track. And it's a good indication that you're attracting what you desire. And that's it. Like, you've been thinking about these things, so this is happening. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to get closer and closer. But again, it's when we look at what's not happening right now. They didn't text me. They didn't call me. They didn't write me a letter. They didn't like my thing on Instagram. They didn't unblock me yet. They didn't whatever. You're losing sight of the big picture. Get back to the big picture. Focus on the big picture. Focus on what you're trying to create. Don't worry about what you don't have. That's what you're changing. And if you keep focusing on what you don't have, you're going to keep getting what you don't have. If you keep focusing on what you're going to have, that will be your reality. And if you enjoy the process, that just makes it easier. That makes the whole thing just easier, more enjoyable. You actually start to see the coincidences. You get to see where things are starting to happen. You get to see how that quickening starts to occur. You get to see how you begin as you get closer to see with an abnormal level of clarity what's about to happen. Like, it's so real. You can see it in your mind with detail and clarity that you couldn't 3 months ago. Things will occur. It will become more and more and more real. And again, you don't ever let it stop. You just keep heading towards it. Because when it's there, when you're finally on that date, when you're finally waking up in each other's arms, then when you get your, first day at work and you're onboarding, or you're driving the car home from the dealership or wherever you got it, like, that is when it happens. That's when you're like, all right, now what's the next thing I'm going to manifest for us, for me, for our family? You don't stop there, of course, but You also don't look at your now either until you've got it, until it's happening, until it's completely real in your life. Not that you saw initials, not that a text message came, not that an email came, not that you bumped into them at the pub. No, something a little more substantial. Bumping into them in the pub. Again, great. You're heading there. It's awesome. You're heading in that direction. Be wonderful and happy because you know, hey, cool, I got more indications that I'm on my way. That's wonderful. But it is, remember, because of what you're sending out, because of what you believe is happening, not what's happening right now is not what's showing you tomorrow. What you are imagining is what's creating right now. And what you're imagining is your tomorrow. And it shows stuff in our right nows. I hope that helps a little because I know there's a lot of people that's probably going to spark some more questions too. But I'm trying to illustrate why it's so important to stay focused on the end result, kind of the game plan. You're focused on that and allow it to happen and stop getting caught up in all the things that aren't happening right now, especially when you expect things to happen that maybe aren't going to. Stop trying to fill in the how. We've said this a bunch of times too. Let it happen the way it's going to happen. Let it happen organically. And it will likely work out better in the long run if you let it happen the way it should. You'll be surprised. So sit back, keep doing the work, let it be. Enjoy the fact that you're getting indications that the work you're doing is definitely still leading you in the direction you'd like to go. Keep going with it. Keep riding the wave. And you will notice a significant difference in your success rate. It is amazing when you set your mind towards what you really, really want to do. So stop attaching yourself to the outcomes and really, it just, big picture, it takes a huge hurdle out of the way for all of us. Going out with a great song that I am just off the top of my head. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick because I've already forgotten what it was. Oh, there we go. Cool. Yeah, so we're going out with a great song by James Taylor. The song's called Fire and Rain. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Yep, Fire and Rain. Right here, Dan Radio Style.
Just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see